Hello everyone. I'm just going to get straight to the point. The well-known Crunker content creator, FrostyWolf, has been getting into some controversy lately, and I would like to discuss this. Without further ado, let us begin. So the first thing I would like to discuss is FrostyWolf's behavior regarding his moderation permissions. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a Twitch clip of Frosty supposedly abusing his moderation powers. Here's the clip.
Devs don't say anything, dude. If they tell me no, I'll stop. Like it's either that or I just don't stream the game. Because there's no point in playing.
Now, as you can see, he kicks 3 players who eliminated him, and then he goes on to say that if he didn't have his moderation powers, that the game would just be unplayable for him. Obviously, this upset a lot of people, and it was reported that Frosty lost his in-game moderation privileges. Now, I tried to contact Frosty to verify this information, but he just never responded to me. The next and most major point I would like to talk about is how FrostyWolf is just incredibly disrespectful and petty towards the competitive Crunker community. Now, from the beginning, Frosty has made it very apparent that he dislikes the competitive Crunker scene, and I will be touching on this later in the video. But anyways, for no apparent reason, Frosty just decided to take to Twitter and insult the comp scene, calling the competitive players stupid, toxic toddlers. As expected, people began to call out Frosty, saying that he was being immature and pathetic. Frosty tried to justify his words by saying he was going to end drama, and that he was going to be blocking the, quote, whining comp players. Ironically, all the replies to this tweet were mostly supportive fans, legitimate criticism, which Frosty pretty much ignored, or the word cringe. Because this tweet didn't gain much traction, Frosty decided it would be a great idea to make another one, where he pretty much just repeated himself. This time around, though, he made sure to be much more condescending. This tweet provoked many reactions from more relevant people, such as the competitive player Ronix, who Frosty has had previous drama with for spreading misinformation about him, and the popular Crunker news YouTuber 47s. As you can probably tell, this was once again just a desperate attempt at gaining more Twitter interactions, and in the end, nobody gained anything positive from this. Frosty tweeted one more time, but it did literally nothing productive, so I'm just not going to. So you probably may be thinking to yourself, well, how did these tweets, help or benefit anybody? But unfortunately, literally nothing good came out of this. This guy just took to Twitter, insulted people, and left with his little reactions. And that was pretty much it. All he did is just try to tear down an already dying community. I just find it extraordinarily sad and upsetting how the face of Crunker streamers, the top of the top, he just cannot present himself as a mature role model or in a proper light, but he's just a generic clout-chasing reaction baiter. In the past, Frosty's been known for slandering and disrespecting and spreading misinformation about popular Crunker competitive players, and it appears he just still holds a grudge from the past drama. Hopefully, Frosty learns from this situation, he'll clean up his act or something, and maybe he could try to help rebuild the competitive Crunker community. Here's my final analysis on why I believe Frosty hates the competitive scene. This segment is more of my opinion, and sort of theorizing. I believe that Frosty hates the competitive scene because, in his content, he markets himself as being a top-tier leaderboard player, which he is, but he lacks the skills for legitimate competitive play. Now, obviously, there's nothing wrong with making a career off of pub stomping, which is very common among popular Crunker creators, and this is well-received content. People enjoy it. When Frosty tries to sell himself as a pro, he needs to try to meet these standards, and he just struggles to do so, because he does not play competitive Crunker. When you try to act and base your brand off of being a competitive, top-tier player, you sort of need to participate in tournaments and stuff. You can have hundreds of in-game hours or even a $10,000 setup, But at the end of the day, it all comes down to skill. And although Frosty is extremely good at the game, he just isn't cut out for competitive tournament play. But that's really all I have to say about this. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, that's all for now. Bye.